Welcome to the Sure Sales Group Show, episode 24, and this is phase 2 of 4. So we talked about phase 1 in the last video about defining success, understanding the market, and strategic planning. And in phase 2, really get the listing details in check. And what that means is we need to get a listing agreement signed. We need to come to terms on how the process is going to work from a contractual standpoint. And just so you know, here at the Sure Sales Group, we don't really bind our sellers into a strict agreement. We're kind of the mindset, cancel at any time. If you're not thrilled with working with us, that's okay. But there are some formalities and we have to get the listing agreement and documents signed. Next, we need to make sure that any improvements that need to be made to the home are getting done, and those are scheduled. And a lot of times that's minor things like some touch-up paint, adding some fixtures, or making some minor updates to the home that might be asymmetric in cost versus what you'll get on the back end. Spend $500 and maybe you're going to get another $3,000 in the sales price. Or put in the granite for $2,000 and we'll be able to sell it for $8,000 more. Those are really important things to consider before you go on the market, and that's a point of conversation in phase 2. Then we need to schedule the photos in the media. So one of the key dates to pick for a seller and a key date to think about is, what day is my house going to be ready for a professional photographer to come in and take hundreds of photos of every angle of the house. That way we can distill the best 30 down to put our best foot forward when we do go online. And then furthermore, obviously we do some video, and if that's going to be something we decide to do, that needs to be scheduled as well. Next is the listing agent needs to present how the process works and what team members are involved to help the process go smoothly. So like I mentioned at the very end of the last video, we have a team of 16 people. So it's not just the agent who's going to be helping you throughout the process. We have in-house photographers, listing coordinators, transaction coordinators, different marketing people who are all pushing the ball forward throughout the course of getting the house ready to list, bringing it to the market, and then making sure when we're on the market we're maximizing the exposure in any opportunity that comes our way. So we found it very helpful to introduce our clients to everyone on the team who might be touching them throughout the process. And then finally, let's get the whole official timeline on paper and come to an agreement on when we're going to go ahead and blast this listing off into the marketplace, whether that's coming soon or going right to active, and then all the little steps along the way. The pictures, the coming soon date, the open house, the Facebook activity, so on and so forth. So the listing details need to be ironed out, and then we can really start prepping the marketing, really start priming the pump on this engine. So we need to organize all of our collateral, get all the pictures, get the video, get the brochures, make all the nice fancy, that's not the one I wanted. Make the brochures, plan the direct mail, do everything we need to do and organize it in a fashion that's going to make it easy for us to effectively push it out there. So we've got to organize the collateral. We need to get our traditional advertising in place. We need to get the sign in the yard, get the brochures on the table. We need to confirm the digital and social strategy. And again, this is a whole separate video, but going back to what we already talked about in phase 1, hitting that target market in all the areas that is natural to the market, whether it's on your mobile phone, the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, do some Twitter. All of that stuff is in the digital and social strategy. Next is the broker network exposure. How are we going to make sure every single real estate agent not only knows this home is coming up, but they know all of the key differentiators and the features and benefits in this home so they can articulate why their clients should want to come and see it. That's a good listing agent's job, is to arm buyer's agents with the ammo they need to get their buyers in the door. So that's the broker network. And then we have to plan an open house. As I mentioned before, we love open houses. We're a big proponent of open houses because they work if the agent works. Meaning you don't just show up at the time you're supposed to be there, you have your flyers, put them out, and hope someone comes in, sit on the couch. That's not how you do it. You market the open house a full week in advance, the first week it's on the market. you show up prepared with all the stuff we talked about in phase one and here in phase two, all the details on the property, all the details on the neighborhood. You need to be prepared, and we are always prepared, to discuss the market the home is in with anyone who comes in, whether it's a neighbor, a potential buyer, a friend, a family member. And two, we always like to bring a mortgage lender with us. That way we can focus on presenting the home to people who walk in while having a mortgage person make sure we're gathering all the information for people who are coming in, helping them get pre-qualified, and then providing them with the insight they need to potentially make an offer on the house. You know, when a mortgage lender's there in the open house, it's quite convenient for someone to say, hey, look, you can buy this house with $7,000 out of pocket and have a $2,200 a month mortgage payment. That's powerful stuff, and it's good to strike while the iron's hot while you're at the open house. Then we call it the Sure cross-marketing. We call it Sure and Sales, RE/MAX Sales cross-marketing. We internally in our databases leverage up our technology to make sure we're not missing anyone who might be interested in the house that we're already working with. In a previous video, I showed our Boomtown database. It grows by about 500 people a month. We have 16,000 shoppers in there. And what's really cool is we can plug in your listing based on the zip code, the area, the lot size, bed, bath count, and amenities in the home, and kind of reverse engineer anyone who would likely be interested. That's called the cross marketing. By the way, guys, we're not on the market yet. We're just still in the planning phase, in phase two. But we're planning all this out, and we're getting it in front of potential buyers before we're racking up the days on market exposure. So the Sure Group and RE/MAX Sales cross marketing is something that's unique to us, and we've had a lot of success doing it. There's a reason we sell more of our own listings than any other team in Baltimore, and it's because we try to, and we have strategies and processes around doing it. And then finally, we need to go over the showing instructions. So when we're working with a seller, if it's your home, you kind of need to be in charge of, you are in charge of who gets to come into your house and who doesn't. It's your house. So those instructions we need to be really explicitly clear on. So is it, hey, just give me 2 hours notice and automatically approve the showing? Or is it, hey, I need to okay the showing every time before an agent comes? Or is it, hey, no showings weeknights after 7 p.m.? There's infinite variables there, but we need to kind of co-create that schedule so it's easy to schedule the showings and we're not kind of butting heads whenever someone wants to come in. So phase two is get these listing details knocked out, get your paperwork done, get your improvements done. Let's schedule some of the media and determine when we're going to launch it and who's going to be involved from our side, and then prep all this marketing. So as you can see with phase one and phase two, in order for a good agent to provide world-class service and a world-class 5-star experience, there's a lot of heavy lifting that needs to be done before you go on the market. So I can't wait to talk about phase 3 and 4. I hope that was helpful. See you next time. Oh, by the way, most agents don't have a 4-phase or a 3-phase or a 2-phase approach to prepping for a listing. Most agents do the, let me get this home on the market and just pray that and hope that someone comes and sells it. Well, we know that hope is not a strategy. A strategy is a detailed, tactful, goal-oriented, co-created campaign that a seller and a marketing firm and we're a marketing company wrapped up in a real estate brokerage. You need to have these first 2 phases. So you need to, what does success look like? Understand the market, do some strategic planning, go over the listing details, and then really thoroughly go over your marketing preparation. So that's what it is. Very important.